What is the year of opposite?
So I had in February of 2022, one of my best friends from college, Joe St. Clair, died from complications with alcohol abuse. And it was the first person that died unexpectedly in my life. I'd had grandparents and stuff, but they had a long, good life, and I was able to cope with that a bit better. And I didn't cope with Joe's death very well. The other thing, it was during COVID. We couldn't see him. The hospitals were closed. So that kind of added to it. But I really think it was my first experience with grief. And then 5 months later, Matthew Hill, my best friend growing up, from the founder of Liquid Web, he died of a heart attack in his LA house. And that hit me really hard. And then 10 days after that, Tyler Blakesley, who was an incredible teacher in the Lansing School District, was my wife's cousin, the officiant in our wedding, a friend of mine, and somebody that I had loved his bands before I was even a part of the family and before I knew him. So I had these 3 deaths, and I got hit with depression for the first time in my life. And I kept waking up sad, and it was very unlike me. And I was really burdening my wife with like, why aren't you able to help me with this? And it was the definition of insanity. I was just doing the same thing over and over again. So I came across that speech by the general that's just wake up and make your bed. And I just started doing that. I had always been not a morning person, like sleeping pretty late. So I just decided, nope, I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to make my bed. And then that led into a bunch of other things. Gave up drinking. I started working out a lot. I ended up losing a bunch of weight. And then I'm a big fan of Seinfeld, and there's George Costanza has his epiphany that everything he's doing in life is wrong. So he does the opposite and everything ends up working out better. So I'm like, I'll try that.
George, that woman just looked at you.
So what am I supposed to do?
Go talk to her.
Elaine, bald men with no jobs and no money who live with their parents don't approach strange women.
Here's your chance to try the opposite. Instead of tuna salad and being intimidated by women, chicken salad and going right up to them.
Yeah, I should do the opposite. I should.
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right.
Yes, I will do the opposite. I used to sit here and do nothing and regret it for the rest of the day. So now I will do the opposite, and I will do something.
So then it just led to, I've never golfed. I went golfing.
That's where I would lose you, because maybe I should just stop doing that. That should be my lesson. I should just stop golfing.
Yeah. You're the opposite. Yeah. So then it just led into all of these other things. And at the conclusion of my year of the opposite, I had to make a decision. Was I going to go back to the old ways or not? And I decided, no, that I'm just going to keep challenging myself, hopefully every year, and change that challenge. So now I've challenged myself to write and publish every single week. And so I publish Year of the Opposite on Substack. I have a little podcast that's not really a podcast. It's really just my writing in a podcast. And that's what the Year of the Opposite is. It's just doing the opposite of what I had done all my life and challenge myself to change.